Hi guys, I thought I'd make a little tutorial video in case you're having a hard time making the Excel graphs for this phase of the Economic Pulse of the World project. So just starting from the assignments, the data is available right here under step one. So I'm just going to do this for the unemployment data, and the process will be the exact same if you're inflation or if you're doing GDP growth. Then just as a reminder, if you're the compiler, you're going to take the graphs that your teammates make and have posted under their under your group discussion board, and just put them all together in a document and include their written analysis, which is down here. And there's more instructions here on how to do it. You have to format it in a specific way. Most importantly, double space it, and then title it a specific way. But this tutorial is mostly about making the graph. And so all you do is, first of all, for unemployment, I'm just going to click on this and then go to my downloads and open that up. Okay, you have to click on this enable editing button at the top here. All right, and then it's gonna, it may open on this page, which just gives you a description of what the variable is. You want to go down here to the data sheet. So click on this one. And this has all your data for whatever statistic you're looking at. And it's kind of organized horizontally. So it's got all the countries here, and then it has the years over here. And you can kind of scroll to the right. There's no data up until about 1991 for most countries. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to do the United States, since I know no other group has done that. So I'm going to go, actually the first thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to want to have a column with all of the years on it, because that's going to be my x-axis. And then I'm going to want another column with all of the unemployment data on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this row right here, row 4. So what I'm going to do is click on the 4 so that the whole thing is highlighted. And then I'm just going to copy it with Control C. Now if you're on a Mac, it's going to be Command C. So whenever I say Control something for a shortcut, you have to use Command. As far as I know, I haven't used Macs very much. But for this, I'm going to do Control C. And you can see it's got like the dashed lines around it, so I know it's highlighted. Now I'm going to go down and go to a new sheet. So I'm going to click on this plus button, and that's going to open a new sheet. And I'm going to paste it, and I like to have the data vertically, so the years go down like this and the data goes down. That's how we've been doing it in class. So I need to paste it in a special way. So I'm going to start with this first cell, and I'm going to right click on it. And you can see there's a bunch of different paste options. Some of them are more helpful in certain situations. What I want to do right now is just transpose the data. So if it's horizontal, it'll be pasted vertically. And the transpose paste option is this one right here. And you can see when I hover over it, it says transpose. And also when you hover over any of these, it'll show what it's going to look like if you click on it. So I'm just going to click on this one that's transpose. Okay, so that it pastes some stuff that I don't really want, but then it pastes all of the years after that, and that's what I want. So now I'm going to go back to the data, and I'm going to find the United States. You can see it's kind of alphabetical, but it's alphabetical by region. So it can be hard to find, but just keep scrolling. You can also do Control F to find. Okay, but here I found the United States down here. So to copy and paste all of the United States data, I'm just going to click on the row number for the United States. And so all of its data is highlighted. Then I'm going to Control C to copy. And I'm going to go back to this sheet that I just made. And I'm gonna spread this out a little bit. So I'm going to pull this over like this. Okay, so now in this column B, I'm going to paste all of the United States data. So just like before, I'm going to transpose it when I paste it. So I'm going to right click here and go to this one again, that's transpose. And it did paste that, but there's no data for these years. And I'm hoping if I scroll down a little bit, it'll have data starting, and there it's starting at 1991. So the years in the data should match up. If I scroll down here, I can see the data ends where the year ends, so that's a good sign. I'm also going to double check, just going back to this, that where the data was. I'm just going to scroll over, and the first data is 6.8, and if I scroll up, it is in 1991, and that matches up here. All right, so I'm good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to delete all this stuff above the data. It's not really what I need as a label for my graph, so I'm going to just highlight it all and press my delete button. And then next I'm just going to give each of these columns a name. So right above the first year, 1960, I'm going to type year. So that'll be my label on my x-axis. And then for here, I'm going to type the label for my y-axis, which is going to be unemployment rate. And I would probably will change these a little bit later, but this will be good for now. Okay, so now I've got everything I need to make the graph. So just like when we did in class, we're going to go to Insert, and we're going to use the graphs that are in the middle here. First of all, I'm going to have to highlight all the data. So an easy way to do this is, one thing you could do is just hold down your left mouse button and just highlight all the way to the bottom. But an easier way is to highlight the labels. So just left click and highlight both of the labels, and then you can let go. And then hold Control Shift and then press down. And that'll go all the way to the bottom of your data. Okay, so now to make the graph, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go under Insert Line, and I'm going to just hover over the first one, and it's kind of covering my graph, but I know that that's the one I want, so it's going to be that one. So now I have kind of like my first draft for the unemployment rate. Some things I don't really like here. First of all, I've got all this blank area here where I don't have any data, and there's no real reason to include that. So I'm going to get rid of that. And whenever you make a change over here to your data, it's going to be reflected in the graph. So I'm going to erase all of the years without data before 1991. So I'm going to highlight all of this for both columns, not just the year, but the blank cells as well, all the way down to 1990, which is the last year without data. And then I'm going to right click in this gray area and delete this. So when I delete it, I'm going to have these options of what I want to do with the cells I just deleted. So I'm going to shift everything up. So the data is it starts in 1991, and when I say shift the cells up, that's going to shift everything up. So the first year written right here below the word year is going to be 1991, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so now the graph looks good. I got rid of all the empty years. One thing though, I need labels here, so I'm going to click on the graph and then click on this plus button and click on Axis Titles. It doesn't automatically apparently put the year and unemployment rate here, so I'm just going to go in here, and you can double click and type the name of the variable. So over here, you can call this unemployment rate, but since the title is going to have unemployment rate in it, I'm just going to put the units of the y-axis, which is a percent, right? It's the percentage of the labor force that's unemployed, so that should be descriptive enough. But the title isn't descriptive enough yet. I could have done better there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all say what country it is. Before I go any further, like the title should give you all the information you need to know what's going on. And right now with just the unemployment rate, this could be any country in the world. So I'm going to first of all call it the US unemployment rate. And then just to be a little more descriptive, I'm going to put the years 1991 to 2023. All right. And that's it. That's really all I want from your graphs. That looks pretty good. You can format this more if you want. You can click on the axis titles and increase their font to make them bigger if you want. Not that big. That's too big. But you might want to do it for this percentage sign. You can do it for the title as well. But you can see that when you make that bigger, it squishes everything a little bit. You can also pull this out to make it bigger like that. And once you're done, you're just going to copy and paste this on your discussion board. And that's pretty easy. You just click on the graph and do Control C. And then here I have a Word document. So I can paste it in here with just Control V. And you can do that on Canvas as well. So you can just paste it right in there. All right, so like I said, that's the same process for the inflation rate and the GDP rate. And once you've got that pasted in there, you just need to summarize it. So refer to the instructions for that. And hopefully you won't have any more problems after this. But if you do, let me know.